Good evening, I'm Scott Beadle with St. George News at 8. Hours after discussing it, state Republicans say the food tax bill is being abandoned for the year in the Utah State Legislature. They have decided to suspend efforts, according to Senate President Wayne Niederhauser. The Sandy Republican made that announcement during a news conference. The bill could have meant higher prices on food. The proposed tax was being pushed during the final days of the legislative session as part of a tax overhaul. An attic fire displaced the occupants of a home in downtown St. George Tuesday morning. Around 7 a.m., the St. George Communications Center got a 911 call from West 500 South. The caller reported having smelled smoke somewhere in the house. Firefighters arrived on scene and found a small fire in the attic in the rear portion of the home between two bedrooms. They attacked the fire from inside and outside the home. Fire crews had to go into the home and tear down a part of the ceiling to get to the fire. Fire officials say the fire was contained to the attic and damaged 3 or 4 trusses. Police said a driver who was likely distracted by his phone rear-ended a truck on Red Cliffs Drive Monday afternoon. St. George police responded to the scene a little after 4. 2 eastbound vehicles were waiting at the traffic light at the intersection of Red Cliffs Drive and Mall Drive. The crash occurred when the light turned green and traffic began moving again. Traffic was slowed and had to be diverted around the scene of the crash on that busy road. St. George Fire also responded to the incident to help with cleanup after fluids leaked heavily from the Honda involved. One driver was cited for allegedly using a handheld device. The future has arrived at the Washington County Library's Santa Clara branch, and the public is invited to come see it, learn about it, and utilize it. The library has a new 3D printer. Library staff tell us it's a MakerBot Replicator Plus. Library patrons are able to use the printer. So far, the printer has made chains, an R2-D2 toy, gears, and an intricate geared toy. The library will be holding open houses to introduce the new printer to patrons every Monday night in March from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Republicans have unveiled their long-awaited plan to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. But some serious questions remain, including how much the plan will cost and how it will impact some 20 million Americans covered under Obamacare programs. Janae Norman is in Washington with the story.
The Republican promise to repeal and replace.
I am also calling on this Congress to repeal and replace Obamacare.
1 week after President Trump's call to Congress, House Republicans outlined their plan to overhaul Obamacare. The plan swaps subsidies for tax credits to help Americans buy insurance, ends penalties for Americans without insurance, gradually ends the expansion of Medicaid, which provides coverage for more than 10 million Americans in 31 states, and ends funding for Planned Parenthood. But the White House offering to keep funding if the organization stops offering abortion services.
After years of Obamacare's broken promises, we're proud to put forth a plan that represents a better way for patients and for American families.
The plan keeps 2 of the most popular ACA provisions. Coverage still can't be denied based on pre-existing conditions, and young adults can stay on their parents' plans until they're 26. But Republican Jason Chaffetz on CNN making waves with his comment seeming to acknowledge the plan will shift more of the financial burden to individuals.
Americans have choices, and they've got to make a choice. And so maybe rather than getting that new iPhone that they just love and they want to go spend hundreds of dollars on that, maybe they should invest it in their own health care.
President Trump tweeted calling the plan wonderful, but some GOP members have their doubts. Senator Rand Paul tweeted, quote, "Sure looks like Obamacare light." Major progress has been made fighting a Colorado wildfire that has burned some 30,000 acres as well as 3 homes. Dozens of firefighters from 13 departments continue to fight flames into the night in Sterling, Colorado. Yesterday afternoon, about 900 pre-evacuation notices went out to people living in the area. No one was hurt, but for some of those who evacuated, that fire took everything.
My aunt lives just north of town, and we went by there just a little bit ago, and everything's pretty much burnt. It's gone.
At last check, that brush fire was 90% contained. Chief Meteorologist Chris Summers is in next with your Southern Utah forecast.
Programming brought to you by Planet Fitness, home of the Judgment Free Zone.
You're watching Southern Utah's own Channel 8 KCSG.
You're so adorable. I'm taking you home.
The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
I used to think news is news. It's all the same. But it's not. There's a big difference between local broadcast news and cable news. See, local stations are part of my community, connecting me to local news, weather, and sports on every device. It makes sense. Get the news from the people I trust who actually live here. No agenda, no bias like on cable shout shows or social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local stations. Text TV to 52886 today.
And welcome back, everyone. A good Tuesday evening to you. Some beautiful weather out there late this afternoon here in southern Utah. Temperatures into the upper 50s to low to mid 60s in most areas. So some beautiful weather for this time in March. And looks like this dry weather and warm weather and even sunny weather hangs around for the next several days. Don't see a lot of precipitation chances really anytime soon, at least next 7 days. Staying pretty dry and pretty warm. And actually going to see temperatures even warmer than this as we get to the end of our work week. Here's our high temperatures from across our area today. 64 degrees. The high here in St. George late this afternoon. 67 over in Vegas. 69 degrees in Mesquite. 56 degrees the high in Cedar City. And 48 degrees the high today in Beaver. Taking a look at our forecast for Cedar City on your Wednesday. Again, seeing mainly clear skies. Not quite as cold a start as we had this morning in Cedar City. Cedar City had a low in the around 18 this morning, but 28 degrees to start out at 7 o'clock in the morning. Mostly clear skies. Even in the afternoon, though, a lot of sunshine. Should see those highs in Cedar City reach about 63 degrees by the time we get to the afternoon hours of our Wednesday. Now for St. George, your forecast for your Wednesday, again showing lots of clear skies and lots of sunshine. 40 to start out around 7 o'clock in the morning, and then by the afternoon hours should see that high reach about 73 with mostly sunny skies in the forecast. Winds pretty calm, maybe up to 5 miles per hour out of the northeast by the afternoon hours of our Wednesday. So what else can we expect to see? Again, a little cool start to your day, but otherwise a lot of sunshine and pretty pleasant weather for the afternoon as we get into Wednesday. Now even on Thursday, temperatures look pretty nice out there. We'll see another full day of sunshine. Temperatures even a little bit warmer. Won't be surprised to see the mid 70s in parts of southern Utah by the time we get to the end of our work week. And even as we head into the weekend, we'll still stay warm and stay sunny. And it looks like some pretty nice weather here in the forecast over the next several days. And again, next week or so, looking very nice across our area. Here's your surface map as we get into the afternoon hours of your Wednesday. Again, high pressure controlling our weather. That's bringing dry weather in here, but also much warmer weather too to parts of southern Utah. That warm weather extends all the way over into parts of California, Nevada, even Arizona and New Mexico, enjoying nice warm weather. There's a little bit of rain up in parts of northern California, but that's going to stay north of our area. And looks like we'll see just these nice conditions continue here over the next several days as temperatures eventually start warming up even more by the time we get to Thursday and Friday. Before tonight, we'll fall back into the 40s in most areas. Hurricane at 40 degrees by tomorrow morning. St. George at 40 to wake up on your Wednesday. 42 in Mesquite. 28 degrees, a low temperature in Cedar City. As we head to your Wednesday, then back into the mid to even upper 70s in most areas. 77 degrees the high in Mesquite. 72 in Hurricane. 73 degrees in St. George. And 63 degrees the high in Cedar City. 7-day forecast for Cedar City. Temperatures again into the mid 60s here as we get to the end of the work week. Some pretty nice weather in Cedar City. Even to the weekend, temperatures staying well above average. Our normal highs in the low 50s. We're seeing these temperatures stay into the mid 60s. And as we get to St. George, a 7-day forecast is showing 70s across our area. It could be close to 80. It wouldn't be surprised to see an 80-degree temperature by Saturday and Sunday. And again, just seeing lots of nice weather continuing. And one thing missing on the 7-day forecast, not a lot of rain chances, just very dry conditions continuing here as we get into the middle part of March. And also want to remind you, too, you got to set your clock ahead 1 hour on Saturday night.
That's coming right up, isn't it?
That's coming right up, too. You got to spring forward Saturday night so we get an extra daylight, extra hour of daylight in the evening anyway. So it's kind of nice to enjoy that extra, extra hour there after 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
All right, thanks, Chris. Still ahead, a pub in church. Boy, one pastor agreed to make it happen when we come back. The pastor of a church in Belgium has allowed a bar to open in his church, but only on Sundays. The village of Briel in Belgium found itself without a pub since its one and only pub closed down. Because it's customary to go to the pub on Sunday morning after church, the pastor of the Church of Our Lady agreed to have a pub open inside the church after service. Everybody's welcome as long as they come to the church service beforehand. The pub is only open until 1 p.m. and music and dancing are not allowed.
It's a good way to get people to come to church to enjoy the service and then, stay around for a beverage.
Probably helps bring the community together in a couple of different ways.
Especially very nice if the one and only pub closed downtown. It's always good to have a place to go and hang out with friends and family, and that's a good idea.
Absolutely.
We like that.
Well, thanks for watching.
And we hope you have a great night.